let's begin with looking at like who's Imam Maturidi and why is it important for us today?
Okay, so I mean, I think it's good just to introduce who Al-Maturidi is briefly, and then obviously we'll get into more detailed areas. But some people have no idea who this figure is, or may not have heard of him, or just maybe heard the name. So Abu Mansur Al-Maturidi was a scholar from Samarkand, from a small village just maybe outside Samarkand, which is in today Uzbekistan in Central Asia. At the time, obviously, there were different sorts of borders and political organization, but it's in that same area. And Samarkand is obviously a well-known city. He lived in the 4th Islamic century, or into the 4th Islamic century. He was born in the 3rd, which is the sort of the 9th and into the 10th Gregorian centuries. And he lived a long life, and he, unlike some scholars who traveled around a lot to learn, he basically seems to have stayed in Samarkand and to have studied at a madrasa that existed in Samarkand. And he studied with these Hanafi teachers. And so he's from this sort of Hanafi tradition of scholarship, which is an important element we may come on to. And he was a wide-ranging scholar. He has a large book of tafsir, which has been still survives and has been published in the current about 17 or 18 volumes in the recent edition. So it's a comprehensive tafsir, explanation of the whole Qur'an. And he also has an important book of theology called the Kitab al-Tawheed, which is more the focus of my work because of the subject area. And he was, as well as these things, he taught fiqh, sort of Islamic law, and he was a legal theorist. So he actually had works on usul al-fiqh as well. But he's most remembered for his theological legacy because a major school of Sunni Islam, the Maturidi school, which is often paired with the Ash'ari school as one of the main theological schools of Sunnism, because he was so central to the ideas that came to form that tradition. So he's a very important figure, for these reasons, and particularly for his importance as a theological thinker, and I would say a very original, creative thinker of his time, who was a key source for what we come to sort of know as Sunni Kalam, or at least one major tradition in that area.